Okay, good evening everyone. This is our 7th meeting, which is a lucky number for our speaker tonight.
This day's a lucky number too.
It's a good date for Taiwan too. It's a holiday. So today's topic is ethics in atheism. Do we need a God to do the right thing? It's a very interesting topic, but it's also a very provocative one, especially for those who would answer yes to this question included in the topic. But we're not here to provoke people and to convince anyone to change their beliefs. We are here just to share ideas and discuss about them. And you can, after this, you can also keep your beliefs and ideas, as long as the discussion doesn't turn into something else.
Thank you.
Yeah, so lately there has been a lot of discussion about whether ethics can be based on God as in the monotheistic religions of the West, or can be based on something other than God. Those who would say it could be based on God would probably use one of Dostoevsky's sayings in his Brother Karamazov's novel. When one of the brothers he says, if God doesn't exist, then everything is permitted. Well, that's how the religious ethicians criticize the atheist ethicians. But on the other hand, those who believe in atheism, atheism is a religion, right? Those also criticize the theists that they base their morality too absolutely, based on one book or one omnipotent creature, and also based on the fear of the consequences of the people's deeds. But in turn, the theists will criticize the atheists about their morality being too relative and depending on individual opinions. Well, no matter how, most of those who adhere to theism will probably use one of the Bible saying in the book of Romans when it say that those who are atheists, like it or not, they still the gods of law are still written in themselves. So, in this point, I think I wouldn't talk too much and let Ethan Kegley, my dear friend, talk about this very interesting discussion that is going on lately in our world.
And don't feel I'm properly prepared. That's my own fault. I felt like when I decided to give this speech that was like, yeah, this is what I want to talk about. And then after compiling 6 pages of notes, I sort of said, but what is my argument anyway? So I'm going to try not to give any argument. I'm just going to say a bunch of stuff. I'm not a student of ethics or religion or anything, really. So, bear with me. I don't want to, if any of you are religious, I don't want to attack your personal religions. Everyone's entitled to their own belief, just as I'm entitled to my own belief, just because we're living people. So, any living person, any of you, I assume that you're living, can have one or more beliefs, whatever you want. This is not a speech about how gods or a god can or cannot exist. It's just a speech about how ethics can exist without God or gods. I'm not really going to talk about necessarily what I personally believe. I'm just giving some arguments from people who are a lot smarter than I am. Those of you who are here at the first speech probably already know what I personally believe. So, I wanted to start out with a quote, I think. But which quote to start out with? That was the hard one. Do I use the best quote first or save it to the last? I'll just pick one at random. How about that? Flip a coin. A lot of this speech comes from studying an author and journalist, Christopher Hitchens, so this is from him. As humans, our prefrontal lobes in our brains are too small. Our adrenal glands that produce adrenaline, which is what makes us, I guess I should explain that a little bit. Prefrontal lobes are part of our brains. I'm not a brain scientist, so I can't tell you everything what a prefrontal lobe does, but it's very important for our decision making. Adrenaline that's made by the adrenal gland, if we have a need to fight or fly, so say fight or flight response, something bad happens, there's fire, we need to run away from it, we're being attacked, we're being eaten by a lion or something like that. Our adrenal gland starts producing adrenaline, and that can happen in any situation if you get angry and you have a fight or something like that. So our adrenal glands are too large, our prefrontal lobes are too small, our adrenal glands are too large, and our reproductive organs seems to have been designed by committee. I kind of didn't even quote it. That was a paraphrase. So let's see. We'll start with biology, because that's where I want to start. Another person that I studied kind of extensively on this is biologist Richard Dawkins. Personally, there are some things about, I wasn't going to talk about my own personal beliefs, but there are some things about Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins both that I don't really agree with, or they don't square with me. But as a scientist, as a biologist, I think Richard Dawkins has it pretty straight. So, first of all, we are what biologists would consider to be the fifth ape. Apes are gibbons, orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, and then us. So you can consider us the fifth ape, just a lot less hair. Going further into it scientifically, not just biologically, but molecularly, we are made of the same stuff, the same molecules as everything else in the universe. But biologically, again, we also share a lot of the same genetics, the same similar DNA to pretty much all of the life on Earth. We share a lot of the same DNA chains, a lot of the same information as things imagined far away from us as trees. So, just to show you how similar we are with the apes, this is an example given by another biologist, but you know, a horse can mate with a donkey, and that creates a mule. So they are biologically similar. We are as biologically similar to a chimpanzee as a horse is to a donkey. So theoretically, we should also be able to, now I'm not saying there would be any reason to, but theoretically we should be able to mate with a chimp and have offspring. Chimpanzee. Chimp human. Anyway, I think the reason that I bring that up and find it important is because if that theoretically were to happen, then the child, you have this whole new set of questions, ethical questions that you would have with the child, the chimp human child. Okay, so let's see. Ethics.